Hello, friends. Once again, we're back here at the Youngstown Radio Reading Service, and we're pretty excited about the program today. You'll be hearing it on many different platforms. Could be Living with Blindness, Insights and Sound, but Mike Muter, of course, our general manager, our fearless leader, will be making that decision. But I'm so happy to be here. We've had a great day at Youngstown Goodwill Industries today in the offices of the Youngstown Radio Reading Service. We have a lot of good friends here, and I'm going to introduce them first. We're going to go over here to Patty Poorman. Patty Poorman, say hello to everybody.
Hello.
There she is. She's the recipient of a wonderful gift. We'll talk about that a little bit more. And to my right, I have Joy Mistovich. Joy.
Hi, everyone.
And you're all familiar with Joy. She's been a long-time supporter of Youngstown Radio Reading. We're lucky to have her. She's done programs in the past. And we have two good friends over here. We have from the Canfield Lions Club, Joy represents Boardman Lions. And from Canfield is a charter member, Mr. Ted Filmer. Ted, good morning. How are you?
Hi, good morning, Mike. Good to be here today.
Always good to be with you, Ted. And to your right is a good friend, another member of Canfield Lions, Andy.
Hi. Hello.
What's your last name, Andy?
It's Zaraki.
I like it. Thank you for being here. And we've introduced everybody. I want to tell you what this is all about. We came together, the Boardman Lions Club, the Canfield Lions Club, and Youngstown Area Goodwill Industries. We got together on a project. We introduced you to Patty Poorman, and she is learning Braille. But here's the problem. She doesn't have a computer or anything like that to make notes in a computer, in a file, and save them. So she's learning Braille, from the very start, grade 1, and it goes up from that. But she didn't have any device to write the Braille. So we checked out here at Radio Reading. We had some old machines, and they weren't working. I couldn't get them to work. I put WD-40 in them. I did everything you possibly could, and they still stuck when you tried to, make combinations of letters. So Mike Muter and I had the idea, let's get some partners together. And we started with Youngstown Area Goodwill Industries, from where we're at. And we talked to Ted, and he talked to people. I'm sure Andy got involved from the club, the representatives, and they're 1/3 of it. And the third is the Boardman Lions Club. And that's significant because we have our friend Joy Mistovich. She's a member, and her mom, lifetime members. And the recipient of what we got her, the Braille writer for Braille, is Patty Poorman, who lives in Boardman. And she used to be a member of the Canfield Lions Club. So it all came together when Mike and I were just brainstorming one day, because these machines are very expensive, okay? They're $900. That's almost the cost of like some laptops or whatever. But she'll get to that someday, learning the computer. But in the meantime, she's studying her Braille, and she's doing it through the Hadley School for the Blind. It's an excellent program, and I'm going to want Patty to talk about that a little bit, about the Hadley School for the program for Braille. Patty, go right ahead.
Okay. They send you the books in the mail, and then, but you're not on your own. There's a phone number you call, and there is an automated lesson that walks you through each book, and it's very nice because there's a key if you want to take a break. There's a key if you want to replay a page, and you can also press 0 to talk to a Braille expert, and it's very nice. And there's stickers in the back of the book that have Braille on them that you could use for labels around the house to help you get acclimated to feeling it.
Yep. How about recipes, phone numbers that you need? You can't remember every phone number, so this will be convenient for, writing them in Braille and your recipes and stuff.
Well, up to this point, everything's been in my head.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. How about you talking about your spice rack? Tell us how you developed a system that lists all your spices.
Well, I really, was struggling with it for a while because I would have to open each jar and smell it to see what it was, and that just gets so frustrating. So, I had somebody that comes over and reads my mail for me, and I showed her the Braille labeler, and she said, "Hey," she said, "I can make these labels real quick for you because it has the letter right next to the symbol."
Yep.
And I was not aware of that.
If I was, I forgot many years ago. But yeah, you told me that, so that's your friend helping you,
Yeah, oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Since you're at the early stages of learning the Braille, it'd be time consuming.
Right. And just to have it in different places around the house, it makes you more aware of it.
Yes. Absolutely. I know you're very thankful to have it and going to be using it. And I'll tell you what, the Braille writer that everybody bought here is really nice. They've improved it. Joy and I were very impressed with the texture. It almost feels like a granite or something, but it's very, very nice. They made improvements. And Joy Mistovich from Boardman Club, she's been a long-time advocate for people who are blind and visually impaired. I'm going to have her talk about a few of the projects she's been involved in, and she's really impressive. And there's been write-ups in the Youngstown Vindicator about her activities. She works at the Butler Museum of American Art, and I'm going to have you talk a little bit about that, Joy, about accessibility.
Sure, Mike. So I've always been a huge advocate and supporter of the visual arts, not just for the blind and low vision community, but for anyone, regardless of abilities or disabilities, to provide the access to the arts community. So I just absolutely love my job at the Butler. I'm the Education Department Assistant and Digital Accessibility Specialist at the Butler. So in mid-April, I was deeply honored and privileged when I received an award from the Ohio Museum Association. I was named the 2024 Emerging Museum Professional of the Year for my work in the accessibility space. And so some of the projects I've worked on at the museum include implementing IRA Access, which is an acronym for Access to Information Remote Assistance. And so IRA is a technology on a smartphone, whether it's an Android phone or an iPhone, or also a desktop, a Windows or Mac computer, and it connects via through the use of a smartphone or computer to highly trained, professionally located visual interpreters, and they provide instant access to visual information anytime and anywhere for IRA explorers. And that's just because we're called IRA explorers because there is nothing that is impossible with using this technology, whether it's navigating through the galleries, shopping in the museum store, looking at an artwork, receiving that instant access to artistic description of the artworks, researching the artwork in general, navigating new spaces, airports, cities, parks, anything can imagine, computer-related work for security and privacy and empowerment. So that's actually how it all started with my job at the Butler. When I received my job in November 2021, I wrote up a job proposal for the museum director for my job, and I love it so much. And also I've created Braille flyers and brochures for the shows that come in, Braille and large print brochures, which provide access to the blind and low vision community, or for anyone that can benefit from reading descriptions of all of the new art shows coming up. And then I've also created a Sensory Sunday monthly program for the neurodiverse community. So whether individuals are autistic or have other disabilities, whether they have, PTSD or other whatever disability, or can just benefit from being in a quiet space. Anyone can borrow a sensory bag which contains noise-canceling headphones, sunglasses, cue cards. It's just spelled CUE, cue cards for nonverbal individuals if they're just receiving and communicating with museum staff. So, and also fidgets. So, that's only just a couple things that I've implemented, and we recently, from February, had in mid-February, we started this partnership also with 3D Photo Works, which is a New York-based company, and we've had this George Washington tactile exhibition, which included print, large print, braille, and tactile experiences for anyone, regardless of whether they're blind or low vision, or even just non-disabled individuals. So that's only just a sampling.
That's enough. Jeez. I got tired just in here talking all that. All the stuff she's involved in. I feel guilty that I'm not involved in more stuff. But I know two gentlemen over here from the Canfield Lions Club. I know Ted is a charter member of the Canfield Lions Club. Ted, I've known you since the late 70s, and I first got to know you. The Canfield Club used to have like a night at the races or something like that. What was it about gambling? The society, we would have parties at Christmas time for our volunteers, and we would have like dice tables, like casinos in Vegas, and we'd give them play money, and we'd go out and get gifts from the community, and whoever won the most money, they would have a raffle or a bid, an auction, and you provided the equipment for us, the dice tables and everything. That's how I first got to know you. But you did much, much more than that. You were a charter member. Talk a little bit about that, would you, Ted?
Okay, when I joined Lions in 1978, I knew little about Lions and what they did, but I soon learned that vision was our main project. We were challenged in 1925 by Helen Keller to become Knights of the Blind. Lions accepted that challenge, and since that time have been involved with working with the visually impaired. And we find that it's not the only thing that we do, but we find that a very interesting part of our involvement with the public and with our community, and we enjoy doing that, helping the visually impaired with their vision problems. We are part of a foundation that pays for cataract surgeries and other eye surgeries. We pay for eye exams and glasses and things such as that. Whatever it is that's involved with vision, we're involved in, and that's been our goal to help those who are visually impaired in whatever way that we can.
Well, we're thankful for your charter member and continuing all these years later. We're going to talk to Andy now. Andy, when did you get involved with the Canfield Lions Club?
I got involved with the Canfield Lions about 2002.
Yes.
So I've been there for 22 years.
Yep.
Been an officer, King Line, and now I'm with Melvin Jones. It's a district. There's 10 zones. I'm in Zone 6, which includes Austintown, Boardman, Canfield, Poland, New Middletown, and Youngstown.
Yes.
And I promote for the eye surgeries and the cataracts and or bioptics, whatever is too expensive to buy. One club can't afford to give that to them, so that's why we have the Melvin Jones Foundation. They get it, and we have applications. We process it and do all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your service and your wonderful work for the people who are blind and visually impaired. And I can say this confidently. Since the beginning, I think Canfield Lions Club is probably, I don't know if this is right, Ted, you could correct me, but I bet it's over $50,000 of support from Canfield in the way of machinery, computers. We just had something recently that Canfield put together other than this project for Patty with the Braille writer, where, we got $5,000 to buy new computers. You know how computers are. You need to update them every 3 to 6 years, and we're on the outskirts of that, like at 6.5 years. So once again, Canfield comes in at the 11th hour to save us in so many ways, and just so many great people. And as I said earlier, Patty Poorman and her mom, Pat, were members of Canfield Lions Club. And I remember being out there speaking a couple times with friends, and Patty and her mom were in the audience. Now, they were heckling me. I didn't know what that was all about, but hey, that's okay. Yeah, sometimes you deal with tough crowds. I'm kidding, of course. I'm kidding. But anyway, we're so lucky here at the Youngstown Radio Reading Service and Goodwill. They have such, backers, people that support us. They'll allow us to be able to do projects like this. The Braille writer and the paper. She's got enough paper to write a novel, I'm telling you. I mean, I don't know if she's going to venture into that, but it's something. It's amazing. Braille paper's expensive. The Braille writer's expensive. I told you that. And I'll tell you what, I feel good about our backing here. With Lions clubs in the area, as Andy mentioned. And I'm especially proud of the youth that we have, and the ideal representative of that is Joy Mistovich. She's a wonder and, a godsend to people who are blind and visually impaired. She never stops, and she's probably blushing. I'm talking a little bit too much about her, but I mean it. She has been there, and, being visually impaired herself, she knows what it's like. And so she's taken that, and she's taken that on, that mantle of serving the blind and visually impaired, kind of like a modern-day Helen Keller, if you will. I'm just so proud of her, and I consider myself lucky to call her a friend. But that's
Thanks so much, Mike. Really appreciate that. Kind words.
That's all right. I mean it. And her mom is also a member of the Boardman Lions Club. And again, I'm so happy to put this all together, that you guys all came together and you didn't hesitate. You didn't hesitate to do this. And it's just so nice. And Youngstown Radio Reading, our mission is to provide all these different programs to tell the community what's going on, the blind and visually impaired. And that's what we do day in and day out. And I'll tell you what, I want to say a few words about a good friend of mine. Ted knows him, Jim Donnan. He's the guy that started it all. Ted knew him back in the beginning, and he, cleaned out a basement at the old Society of the Blind on Glenwood. It was filthy. Jim cleaned it out with help of others, carpenters, electricians, and built beautiful studios. Ted could attest to that. And then after that, he continued to grow it with volunteers. And in the early 90s, the Youngstown Society closed, and Jim chose not to go with Goodwill was taking over. He chose I was saddened by that. But I got the opportunity to become the director, the coordinator after Jim. And it was kind of tough for me because we were very, very close friends. He taught me everything when it came to broadcasting. And I was sad he wasn't coming with me over here, but he made his own decision, and he did quite well. Not to worry about Jim Donnan. Ted can tell you that. But I had the pleasure of being a director here for, 26 years. And in the mid-'90s, I had an intern by the name of Mike Muter from YSU. We had a great internship program with the communications department down there at Youngstown State. And Mike was here for 6 months. He got a job in the private sector at a radio station right away over in Pennsylvania, and he did a great job. I used to be able to get him on certain nights. I think it was WBZY. The climate had to be just right because it was a small powered radio station. But then in 1997, I'm telling you a little history here, he got the opportunity. Our Tony Service, who was a great help, he was my assistant, he got a job at Schwabel's. He got married, had a family, and we don't get paid too much in radio reading, but I'm not complaining. I'm happy to be here. I deal with a lot of great people, so I don't want you to think that. But I got the chance to choose Mike Muter, all right? And I like telling his story because from day one, he was like if you want to call me Batman, he was my Robin. He's just incredible. We went to many conferences in Columbus, got to know each other, and I got to know him as a person. He's an incredible, incredible person. He really is. And in 2018, I decided to retire at 26 years, and I lobbied for him to get the job. And the leadership then, the director of the Youngstown Area Goodwill, they chose Mike, and I was so happy. So we've carried on. We just recently celebrated 48 years nonstop of providing information to people who are blind and visually impaired, and that's because of Jim Darden starting it. I carried it over. Jim was like a starter, in baseball. You can call me a holder. That's the guy that comes in before the ninth inning and makes sure nobody scores run. And then Mike's going to be our closer for the next 24 years. I don't know if he knew that. I'm naming him for 24 years. He might not like that. I don't know if he's got any comments. But I hope he stays because he's incredible. And all of you here that know him, I know you know that in your heart. He's just an incredible human being. I'm lucky that he stumbled upon the internship and came with us because I couldn't have done what I done in the last, 24 years when Mike was with me without him. I really mean that. And I'm blessed to have him as a friend. He's just a great person. And so are you. You're a lot of great friends. And I'm glad we got to share this here at, Goodwill this morning, the photographs and everything. Thank you for, being able to come up. Patty, Joy, Andy, and Ted, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to have you up here. We've really enjoyed it. I don't. If anybody wants to say anything in closing, I'll let you have the microphone. I don't want to hog it too much. Patty, you want to say anything in closing? There we go.
I don't know.
You're thankful.
Oh yes, I'm very, very thankful for everything, and it has. I feel so blessed to have discovered the support meeting once a month here, and it has helped me become aware of so many things that have really made a difference in my life.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Joy, how about you? I know you're going to give us a few closing words.
Well, thanks so much again, Mike, for having me on, and just really glad to be a part of the project for Patty. So this was a great opportunity.
All right, thank you. Now let's go over to Ted and Andy. Who wants to go first?
I'll go, Mike. I think the Canfield Lions owe Radio Reading Service a word of thanks. They keep us abreast of needs within the community that we wouldn't be aware of otherwise, and once we find out about the needs, we're able to help. And that's really, once again, what we're all about. We enjoy, I guess is a good word, to be able to take care of the needs of the visually impaired, of those in our community and those nearby. And once again, Mike, thanks for keeping us aware of what's going on within the visually impaired community.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ted. Andy, how about a few closing words?
I was just happy that we got the Braille writer for Patty. It took at least 2-3 months because we had trouble with the company. And we got it out of California, and it finally came. So we're pretty happy that we got the Braille writer in the paper for her.
Oh, I am too. It's nice. It's very nice, and the paper was generous too because you need the paper. I want to say this, because of the Lions clubs. I mean, it's really leveled the playing field. Your support to people who are blind and visually impaired, you really took it to heart with the being Knights of the Blind, and that started in 1925, 1926, as Ted said. And so they've leveled the playing field so blind people can catch up and try to live meaningful lives and enjoy and have productive lives. Now, every blind person I know, if they really want to contribute it and do something. Like Patty's been great with our support group. She attends every meeting. She's done many interview shows with me, just talking about the trials and tribulations of being blind and trying to keep a house. And Joy, of course, for many years, it was a volunteer here, but she and I, is that correct?
Right.
Okay. I'm just worried about my grammar. I defer to you, Joy, because she's got a master's degree in English, so she's my go-to girl. But anyway, that we've talked about, again, with Joy about trials and tribulations. She's always been at the forefront. That's going to be that's her quest. I mean, she's totally devoted to leveling the playing field like with the Lions, and as she said, she's a member of the Boardman Lions. So again, I don't hear Mike. I think I'm close to the end of this program, and I want to thank you all again for coming up, taking time out of your busy schedules, getting up here. Patty and I took the buses. Joy came up from work, wasn't too far. She works down at the Butler. So, and Ted and Andy, I'm sure you drove up, Andy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We don't want Ted driving too much anymore, huh? But if he had to, he could do it. You still got your golf cart, Ted?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I love it that, you used to be able to use that to go around Canfield. You told me many great stories about that. And everybody knows Ted in Canfield. That's for sure. But hey, guys, I want to thank you again for doing this. I'm sure if you have any questions, the listeners out there, give us a call at the Youngstown Radio Reading Service, 330-759-0100. If you have any questions, we'll direct you to Joy at the Butler Museum of Art. Now, Joy, what's the number down there? 33? Go ahead.
330-743-1107, and my extension is 1103.
And Joy, if you want to talk to Joy, she'll make arrangements for you to come down. The exhibit she was talking about with the tactile and braille and audio, it's still going on to what, June 11th?
Right, it's up through June 11th.
So that's a Tuesday, so you still have time, and they're not open on Mondays, and it's free. You don't have to pay. This is a wonderful thing that the Butler family gave to this valley, and with Dr. Zona is carried on the tradition of it. He's done a wonderful job. He's a great guy.
And the Butler is open from Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 4 and Sundays noon to 4.
Okay, you blind people out there, and if Tuesday through Saturday, you can get the WRTA. If you don't know how to do that, you give us a call. We'll hook you up. And Patty, thank you for all the programs you've done with me. I'm thankful. Thanks for attending all the meetings, Patty.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, Ted and Andy, thanks, guys. You've done a great job, and please pass our thanks along to the whole club.
Yep.
Maybe we'll get Mike to come out sometime, Mike Muter, and thank you in person. As long as you feed him, okay?
As long as you feed them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you got to feed us, right? We're hungry. Well, anybody, that wraps it up, everybody. We had some good times up here today, and we did something very, very important. We got a braille writer for Patty Poorman, and she's going to love it, and I'm so thankful to everybody. Thank you for participating. And listen, everybody, stay tuned to the Youngstown Radio Reading Service because there's much, much more, and we'll talk to you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye,